This time I can boastfully say I fixed this just using my brain. That says Brian. Is that my microphone coming on? Yes, it is. That's the one you want. Ha ha ha. Okay. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. If I ever do decide to use these Philips TVs as monitors, which is probably what I will do one day, that's the one we repaired yesterday just by sticking their things back on, and that's the one that had a brand new set of backlights. But I've just had them on test for a couple of days. Unfortunately, they're taking up too much room, but they make very delightful monitors. I have to say, I'm very impressed. But anyway, that's not why we are here. We are here to have a look at this. Do you know, every so often, once a week, it probably is. No, it's not that often. It's just that last week somebody brought in a Samsung and it was just a delight to work on. Do you remember? We had this Samsung come in and I can't remember what the problem was, but we fixed it. No idea what the problem was. Anyway, and this little Samsung has turned up today, and this is a SyncMaster 933 HD. Now, when these TVs came out, they weren't cheap. I mean, this has got to be 15 years old, and maybe chasing 20, I don't know. You can tell the age by the bezel, obviously, but this has been so well looked after. The white has stayed pristine white. There are no smoke damage or dirt marks on this TV. It's just looked after. And I think this is the main TV in their household. They have it connected to a Samsung 5.1 soundbar, and they're very happy. I think this is what, an 18-inch, 20-inch, a bit smaller than the Samsung one that we worked on last time. And it really is in excellent condition. Look at the connections on that. I mean, me as a young boy, as I would have been 20 years ago, very young boy 20 years ago, I would have got excited by all of the connections there, because even though it's in the dark a bit, mind you, I've got my lights pointing all over the place. But anyway, that is, I mean, that's got everything, even HDMI. DVI, it's got the PC in, it's got SCART, it's got composite, it's got aerial. My goodness. They banged everything into this. I'm looking for a model number, which means I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Let me have a guess. 18-inch, I will say. It doesn't... Oh, yeah, there's a model. Oh, 19. Okay, LS19. It's a 19-inch. And amazingly, it's totally dead. I've got it plugged in. She gave me a remote with it. And it's doing nothing. Now, the remote is working. I know that because I've just switched off a Samsung monitor behind me by pressing that button. And I'm amazed. This should have, I think it's a little, it wasn't a red light. Was it green? It was something, no, it must have been blue. It was like, one of my favourite colours is kind of electric blue. I think they colour it, you know. If you go into your local decorating place and ask for some electric blue paint, it really is a pretty blue, and I think that's what's on the bottom of this. And this really amazes me because inside here is one of the most rock steady power supplies. It was an AC 101, and it was the sturdiest power supply that you could ever find. I can't believe the power supply has gone, but I suppose, as we say, if it's 20 years old now, nothing lasts forever. But if I was a betting man, and I'm not a betting man, in fact, if I was a betting man, I'd be bankrupt by now. But if I was a betting man, I would say that it's the main board that's gone on this, not the power supply. These were built so flipping well. But it's not got its standby light, and it's not coming on. And I know that, well, I've got a remote tester here. So let me just put this remote tester in front of the TV. It is a remote test, an old remote tester. And yeah, you can tell it's working because it's switched on the other televisions. They're going mad now. They don't know what to do. So the remote is absolutely fine. I'm completely and utterly gobsmacked that this TV has failed. I would have thought the screen would have failed before this TV would have failed. So just give me a moment to get my screwdrivers together, because I haven't got much room. And you wouldn't believe I'm not standing on TVs, but I'm wrapped around all sorts of TVs today. They're coming in thick and fast at the moment. Now, my accountant would say to me, don't touch these TVs, stop repairing these TVs. And why would he say that? Because they don't make any money. If I have to buy a new power supply for this, I'm looking at 20 quid. And the maximum I can charge for this is 30 quid as a repair. So I get probably 10 quid out of it. And it doesn't, for the hour I'll take playing with it, you don't get, if I can repair the power supply, then that's slightly different. But my accountant thinks I should stick to the big guns and the big toys. But yeah, there was a cliche, I don't know who said it, variety is the spice of life. And I think every so often when these different little ones come in, especially one like this, not a mark on it. I'm going to probably put more dirt on this than it's had in the 20 years of its life. But anyway, let me just get my tools ready, and we'll have a look and see what we can do with this. Now look at this, it's even got an adjustable stand. You don't find that with TVs today. Why can't all TVs come with a little? It would just help so much if it could be adjusted, just up and down. People would love that. The only other thing I've noticed, sadly, on this TV is the RCA outputs are, well, this is the RGB outputs, well, that's the RGB input, sorry, and that's probably audio out. They are looking a bit tarnished, unfortunately, but I doubt very much that it gets used. I've got a funny feeling that this is connected by HDMI to a Samsung 5.1 soundbar. I'm trying to think how else they could do it. Well, there's a digital out there, I suppose, that could do it. And just there is what I was talking about. Hang on a moment. Just where my finger is, that is where a lovely light blue light should be, the standby light. So let's try and get this light blue light coming on again. Sorry, I've just thought of something. Let me yes. Sorry, I was just staring at this remote that she gave me. It's a Samsung remote and it's got the TV function on it, but this is a much later remote. And this actually belongs to the 5.1 surround sound. This is not a TV remote. I mean, it's got the basic TV. I wondered why it got 2 on-off buttons. One is for a Samsung TV, and the other will be for, because this won't switch any of my, let me just switch, no, none of my Samsung monitors are going off. So, oops, don't knock the camera over. Do you know what I think? Samsung was slightly different. They made one adjustment in their remote controls, and I can't remember when they made it, but it was about 10 years ago, so well after this TV was made. And this is a more up-to-date remote, because this is a 5.1 surround sound system remote. Or a DVD remote, which could be the same, but I just can't see a volume on this for the speakers. This is definitely not the remote for this TV, and unlike Sony and Panasonic, Panasonic and Sony have always kept the same codes in their remote. So if you've got a 20-year-old Sony TV, you can go out and buy a brand new remote control for the latest Sony, and it will work it. The menu will work, the volume, everything else. But for some particular reason, 10 years ago, Samsung changed their off-on commands on the remote. I don't know why. I've never understood it. Panasonic gave you a chance of selecting one of 3 different codes. But Samsung, about 10 years ago, maybe a bit later, swapped codes. I don't think the TV is faulty. Oh, I'm a betting man again now. I want to plug it back in, and I'm going to use let me just plug that back in a second, because have I got an old Samsung remote here? Old boy, have you got an old remote? Surely I've got an old Samsung remote here. Bear with me. Well, actually, no. There'll be buttons. There's got to be a button on this somewhere. But why is the blue light not on? Why is a lovely blue light here not on? Well, it's an LED light. It could have gone. They did go. It's quite rare, but the LED lights do go on the on-off things because they're used on a regular basis. Unless in the menu of this, was it Samsung or LG? Samsung or LG gave you the option to turn off the standby light, which was a silly option. You shouldn't really give customers that kind of... Well, I think it was... people using small TVs in bedrooms didn't like the light on at 2 o'clock in the morning. It kept them awake. And this was quite a bright blue light. This is a similar one. Let me just check that I'm plugged in. No, that's not going to switch it on. It's from the same age. But it will do the main menu. This, oh, anyway, look. It would help if I play with these. There's a selection of buttons on the bottom. And you'd have thought I'd have done this earlier. Turned it on and see. Possibly nothing's going to happen. Haven't got... There's a blue light. Can you see it? Oh, no, you can't see it. There's a blue light. Ah. Oh, there's not a blue light. Let me switch off again. See if you can see. There was a blue light. Yes, it's there. But why is it only just flashing to say it's coming on? There's nothing wrong with this. I told you these power supplies were rock solid. But I can get into the menu with this. I can't switch this on and off, but I can get into the menu with these. Right. What do I want? Well, you only get 4 options. It's going to be in settings, surely. Light level. Oh. Light level. But it's full. But the light's not gone, because we've seen it flashing. They're using the wrong remote. They've got their DVD remote on it. They must have another remote for this somewhere. If not, I'll find them another remote. But that blue light should be on somewhere. Blue screen is on. Oh, light, sorry, I didn't see that. Above it. Light effect, off. Oh, ready? It's come on. So you can have it on in watching TV or always on. There must be a reason why they switched it to off. Aha! Easy fix. Let me just go looking for a Samsung remote that will switch this on and off. Right, got a cranky old remote. I've put some batteries in it. Will it go off? Yes, it even makes the chime. On. Yes. I'm going to leave that blue light on for now because it lets them know that it's different and it's been, well, not that it's been repaired, because it hasn't been repaired. They must have a TV remote at home, which normally switches this on and off. They've decided to disconnect the blue lamp. Because it's probably no, it's not a bedroom TV. They said it was their main TV. Or maybe they just have a TV in the bedroom. Not everybody has a TV in the living room. Anyway, that's none of my business. It is so nice to see. I'm going to switch the lights back on. It is so nice to see one that is so clean and in perfect condition and still working. It's just a remote issue. That's a nice TV. Well, after all the faffing around I've been doing with that 58-inch TV today, that made up for it. It's nice to have, well, it wasn't a 5-minute fix, but it's nice to have a 10-minute fix. That makes a difference. It's not a fix, is it? It wasn't repaired. Let me see if this will switch it to standby. It does. Is the blue light staying on now? It is. I love those blue lights. I just love the colour. Electric blue. Nice. Okay. It's the little Mavis, it's the little things, Mavis, he loves them. Little things. Oh dear. Okay. You can tell I'm a happy bunny now. I've been miserable today because I've spent 3 hours on a Toshiba 58-inch. I think I put a video up, didn't I? God blimey, that would have only been 2 or 3 hours ago and I can't remember. No, it was something else. Or was it? I don't know. Can't remember. But anyway. That was so, yes, and I've also lost one of my, you know, these microphones, lapel microphones I use. I've got quite a few of them. Lights coming on. And I had one today, and I'm hoping I've left it in the other unit because it's disappeared. The trouble is you forget that they're on your jumper or on your shirt, and then you stick them in the washing machine. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I keep putting them in the laundry basket. Anyway, that's a Samsung done. What else has come in today? What else can I have a quick look at? I don't know. I'll find something. Because that was only a 10-minute video. Okay, well, that was nice and easy. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.